All right, you guys, go ahead and take a look at the next part in this case, guys. And the next part actually talks about the least common multiple, right? Keyword in this case, guys, is multiple, right? How it's defined, it's actually the smallest number that is basically a multiple of two or more numbers. So when I'm talking about a multiple in this case, guys, I'm talking about what can I multiply my number with to give me like a certain product, right? So for example, let's say it start off with, I don't know, let's say 12, right? Multiples of 12 are 12 because 12 times 1 is 12. 24 because 12 times 2 is 24, 36, 48, 60, and so on, right? So once again, 12 times 1, 12 times 2, 12 times 3, 12 times 4, 12 times 5, and so on, right? This is multiples, right? So whenever we're looking for multiples in this case, guys, we're looking at what number can both of the numbers basically multiply to, but we have to consider the smallest one out of them, right? So in the next part, in this case, guys, we're actually going to be doing two things. We're going to go ahead and be identifying the GCF, but also the LCM, right? Now, how we're going to be showing in this case, guys, the work is that we're actually going to be able to identify both GCF and LCM in the same spot. So I want to go ahead and actually find the GCF and the LCM of 70 and 105. And I'm actually going to go ahead and start off first by we're going to be doing some division in this case, guys. I'm going to go ahead and actually set up both of the numbers side by side, right? I'm going to go ahead and split them in half, right? And I'm going to go ahead and be doing some division. What I'm going to be doing in this case, guys, on my left side here is I'm actually going to look for the GCF, right? I want to go ahead and look for the GCF of 70 and 105. So I'm going to go ahead and go onto my chart in this case, guys, and my chart is over here. 70. These are my multiples, all right, or my factors, sorry. And what is the other one? What is it? 105. 105 is over here. So if I take a look in this case, guys, at those numbers, they actually seem to have, let's see, they have a 5 in common. They also have a 7 in common. Oh my god, they actually have a 35 in common. Notice in this case, guys, they actually have two numbers in common, 5 and 7. And well, actually 3. But if you look at the first two, 5 times 7 is 35. So our GCF for both of these is actually going to be 35. Because both of them can be divided by 35. 70 gives you 2. And 105 gives you 3. So what I'm going to do in this case, guys, is I'm going to go ahead and write my GCF here on the side. And I'm going to go ahead and basically divide by the GCF, which is 35, right? We mentioned 70 divided by 35. Bring out my calculator here, guys. 70 divided by 35 gives me 2. So I'm going to write the 2 on the bottom. And then 105 divided by 35 gives me 3. Now, from here in this case, guys, I want to go ahead and check, is there any other number that I could divide both of these by, right? And if I take a look at the factors of 2 and 3, we actually don't have any, right? Because 2 and 3 are actually prime numbers, right? It's only 1 in itself. So we're actually done with doing the factoring here in this case, guys. There's no more GCF. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the labeling portion. This here, the 35, is actually going to be the GCF. That is a GCF. It's the greatest common factor. It's the biggest number that both numbers can be divided by. Then moving on to this here being the remainder, that's actually going to help us with the LCM. So I'm going to go ahead and write my GCF here as 35. And the LCM is actually our GCF times our remainder. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply that out. 35 times 2 times 3 actually gives me an LCM of 210. Which means both of the numbers 70 and 105 are going to be able to multiply to 110 or 210, sorry. And that's going to be the least common multiple. So our answer in this case, guys, answer here is going to be 35 and 210. And when you guys do this in your assignment in this case, guys, it's going to be giving you these two sections to fill out. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next one, guys. Here's the next one. We're going to do a couple of these, so hopefully we get the hang of them, right? So let's go ahead and start off, guys. I want to go ahead and find GCF and LCM of both of these. Now, if for whatever reason we weren't to have our chart that we have there, our handy chart, there is another way for us to actually approach this, right? And we could actually be checking in this case, guys, and we'll actually be doing some problems where we won't be able to use our chart to do that. So you typically just get a prime number, right? Or any number in this case, guys, and start checking if you can divide them by that. And then you just continue dividing until you can no longer divide, right? But because we have our chart, let's go ahead and check. I have 48. Right here. And those are all of our factors. And the other number in this case, guys, is 108. 108 is here, right? Now, if I check at that, it seems like the biggest number they might have in common is the 6. Might be 6. Oh, no, I lie. It's 12. Look at that. 12 is there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but this one, 6 and 12. And this one also has 12. So I could actually divide both of them by a 12. But let's say if I started off with the 6, I could have gone with the 6 and then divided by 2 again. But I'm going to go ahead and do 12. 48 divided by 12 is actually 4. And then 108 divided by 12 is actually 9. Right? Now, from here in this case, guys, if I want to go ahead and check one more time, can I divide anything by 4 and 9? If I go on to my chart, 4 and 9 have nothing in common aside from 1. So we're done. So here I want to go ahead and state two things. I want to go ahead and state my GCF first. And my GCF in this case, guys, is actually going to be 12. It's the number we divided both of them by, right? 12. It's that one there. And then the LCM in this case, guys, is the GCF times the remainder, which is 4 and 9. So this here is remainder. Is the remainder. Let me rewrite that because I don't know if you guys understand my writing there. So multiplying that out in this case, guys, let's go ahead and take out a calculator. So 12 times 4 times 9. That's going to be 432, which means at some point, both of these numbers are going to end up multiplying to 432, and that's the least common multiple. So our answer and our second answer, which is LCM. All right.